Welcome back to another edition of the Coach's Corner. This video, we're going to be talking about the Raiders and Jets. Clayton, what's your opinion on this game?
This is a very good game. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm looking at this really optimistically, and because whenever you're winless like they are, there's not a lot of things to point to. Like, there's not a game where you can point to and say, let's look at the positives from this game right here, right? Because there's no wins on the tape, and there's not really any close games. This is really the first game, truly, where you looked at things and you said, okay, our defense came to play. Maybe we do have some defensive help, okay? Maybe Quentin Williams is a guy we can build around up front on our front seven, and you're starting to look at that and really build on that. We know what's coming. We know a deep enema is coming for the Jets organization to flush out all the bad, right? That's the best way, most polite way I could put it, is just an enema for the Jets organization. They're going to get a new head coach. They're going, now apparently they're going to get a new defensive coordinator after they fired Greg Williams. But this Raiders team is very talented, very well coached. We've seen what they could do. They've beat the defending champion Raiders or Chiefs, right? The Raiders have. So for the Jets to have a win, there are no moral victories in football. I'm a firm believer in that. But sometimes you make exceptions to the rule. Yeah. And I think the New York Jets being winless right now is an exception to the rule and saying, hey, we're gonna find a positive here. They had this game won. A boneheaded call by Greg Williams to play man-to-man and rush the passer on a Hail Mary attempt. Ended up being a game winner, obviously. As we know, they lost. But they basically won this game against a talented Raiders team. On the flip side of that, I'm a little concerned if I'm a Raiders fan. If you squeak into the playoffs, you were not the same team that was building momentum. They were playing with a chip on their shoulder early on in the year. They were saying, we're here. Everybody picked us to finish third or fourth in our division. We think we're a playoff team. We think we're talented, and they're coming in hot. That's not the team that showed up to play the Jets, and it's not the team that showed up to play the Falcons and got thrashed by them. And they're on a downward slide. Ever since they didn't finish the job against the Chiefs, this hasn't been the same Raiders team that beat the Chiefs. And I'm concerned for them. What are your thoughts on what, the Raiders downward slide, like I said? Are you seeing the same thing that I am?
I think you hate to say that, one player is responsible for your success. But I point at the Josh Jacobs injury, and I'm just like, ever since he's been hurt, they've been on a downward, spiral. And, I know that Gruden's all about running the ball, and I think that's really helped Carr's success. But, I think the problem is they're in and most teams go through this. They're kind of in a funk, and they have to get themselves out of it. And also, I don't want to take any credit away from the Jets. I'm not going to say this often, especially this season, but lately they've been playing, pretty respectable football, and I do agree with you that, I think that it is encouraging if you're a fan, like, I think you have to put a win with an asterisk next to it, or a loss with an asterisk, like, we were this close to winning this game, but at the end of the day, you didn't, which I'm sure some fans are actually happy they didn't win the game. They're happy that they're like, yeah, we're competitive, but thank goodness we didn't win this game because I want Trevor Lawrence, or I want the number 1 overall pick to trade it, or whatever they decide to do. Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as everyone else's. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that there are some pieces that you can build off of. I think that defense is sneaky good. But offensively, they've been playing better. I think that finally they've gotten some especially skill guys healthy enough to where at least they can be competitive. You don't just pencil in the Jets team as a win, anymore as you would a few weeks ago. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that the Jets have been playing, good enough football where if I'm a fan, I'm feeling, encouraged. Where if I'm a Raiders fan, I'm like, Josh Jacobs, get healthy, please, because, we're going to need you.
No, I agree. You definitely don't want to attribute success to one player, but maybe going forward you could attribute importance to the offense and overall just importance in terms of maybe things like Pro Bowl voting. Whenever you're making a decision like that and you're evaluating how important a guy really is. Because, and whenever you're doing your own rankings and stuff, because you're exactly right. Josh Jacobs starts playing injured. Obviously, he's not 100% whenever he's going out there. And, that leads the question. This guy was hurt last year. They increased his workload, gave him some more passes, gave him more overall touches and more touches on the ground. And he's been hurt a couple times and been banged up. Obviously, there's not a healthy running back in the entire football league. That's a myth. You're never going to see that. But the fact that you're missing time and can't play through the injuries, is that a cause for concern with Josh Jacobs? I think as a Raiders fan, you've got a lot to unpack here. And I think as a Jets fan, you need to be cautiously optimistic because you just need a complete rehaul. And I think you're finally going to get it because you're finally going to get a quarterback worth caring about. This isn't going to be a Mark Sanchez highlight tape year from USC. This is going to be a guy that we knew 3 years ago he could probably come play in this league and compete. And I think that's exciting if you do get Trevor Lawrence, assuming they finish out the year. I think if you get Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, I think this is a very good quarterback class. Whoever you go home with at the end of the day, I think you've got just somebody to rally behind, and that's so important for that city. So I see the teams going two different directions here. I see the Raiders going down. It's like, man, now we've got questions about Josh Jacobs. We've got questions about Derek Carr winning on his own without a good running support. We got questions about the supporting cast of the team, the mentality of the team, the coaching staff rallying them, getting them ready. Like, why are they on this downward slide? And now, and you're optimistic. You're seeing the Jets go up. It's like, okay, the season's almost over. Our season of misery is almost now. Now we could be ready to win again. Like you said, you referenced the Dolphins. The Dolphins are winning. I don't think the Jets are too far away from winning. So a lot to unpack from that game, surprisingly. I know we haven't talked a lot of Jets, but that's my take on the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, a lot of people have kind of looked at the Miami Dolphins situation and that, you have a clean canvas, so you can kind of make, it was hard to get much worse if you were a Dolphin. So, just start BPA, take best player available because chances are they're better than what you have. Same thing is true with the Jets. I think that the next coach and GM, it's actually kind of an attractive job just because, the expectations are low. It's not going to be kind of a one and done type deal with there. And you have, a significant amount of draft capital and, you could literally take whoever you want and you're going to, get a better football player. Also, on the flip side of things, speaking of the draft, I mean, do you think the Raiders go after another running back with the same skill set as Josh Jacobs? Not to replace Josh Jacobs, but to be able to kind of lessen the amount of touches that Josh Jacobs gets, while also kind of still having that Josh Jacobs effect. I mean, I'm talking like, an ETN, a Hubbard, someone along those lines.
That's a fair question to ask. Ultimately, no, because I don't think that they've got the most talented roster. I think that they're just being coached up really well, and I think they're playing hard, and I think they're playing gritty and grinding it out and embracing the way they wanted to win. And I think the way they wanted to win was to mask other flaws. They've got a lot of flaws at wide receiver. Yeah, you bring in Henry Ruggs, but your other starting wide receiver opposite of him was Bryan Edwards, another rookie. We haven't seen much out of him. Nelson Aguilar has actually been their leading receiver on the year. Aside from Darren Waller, obviously we know he's good.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the offensive line's been improved. But you look at the defense has had been leaky. It's been spotty all year. Talking to some Raiders people, just trying to get their perspective on things since they never miss a snap. I'm getting some of our.
I think we both know a pretty significant Raiders fan.
Yeah, we've got colleagues that love the Raiders. So listen to them. They talk about just small personnel tweaks of moving a guy from an inside rusher to an outside rusher. Maybe a guy plays better at instead of playing at a true 3 technique. Moving him. I've seen some people discuss with me even moving him to like a 4 or a 4-eye instead of a true 3, and it's like you're seeing that big of a difference off of just a minute, and that's what it is in the NFL. Some guys just need that little. Just being exactly, just that little niche role for that team. And, if you're a 4-eye player, well, by God, line you up in the 4-eye and we'll make it work because that's what we, sometimes, and this expression is as good as I do. You could either say that I've only got so many bullets for my gun. I've heard that one a lot from some older guys. Or I always say, square pegs and round holes. Sometimes it just don't fit, but we got to make it fit because I don't got nobody else. So I think that's kind of what they're dealing with right now. And the good thing is Gruden and Mayock have such a long contract that they're allowed to piece this along year by year.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't the final form of the Raiders. We're actually seeing just it piece along. So now they've got more answers to their ultimate problem. The ultimate problem is how do we build a Super Bowl team? Okay.
And with
now
not
they've
that
got
much
answers.
money.
Right. Now they're looking because you paid, Gruden half of Jeff Bezos' net worth. You look at the ultimate question, like I said, how to win a Super Bowl. Okay. Now you go quarterback, check. Running back, check. They're just making a checklist going into what they need next season. And eventually we're going to see a really talented team come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said I wouldn't be totally discouraged if I'm a Raiders fan, but I would be worried about, my chances if I get into playoffs from this recent skid we've seen from the Raiders overall, to the original point.
Well, let us know if we got anything wrong. The Jets butt fumble the past and kind of sail into the new age of their franchise. Let us know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to check out other content on the East West Football Network. Thank you.